ご覧の皆様の提供で翻訳しています。
Hello, and welcome back to Animaechan, where today we're going to be looking at my reaction highlights of Dororo episode 16, and at the end I will be doing a short review. I say short right now, but I'm not sure how long the review will be. I hope you enjoy the reaction highlights and stick around for my thoughts at the end. Thank you so much for being here and enjoy.
But it's fine that this is happening to Dororo. We can't expect Yakimaru to come save her because Yakimaru should actually be dead. Because Daiga did the right thing to kill him. I don't want to say too much. I'm just going to be salty. You dug it up? He's in the opening! Wait, are you the brigand that got them? Are you the demon that got them? I'm pretty sure that he was next to the white-haired moth monster in the intro. So, if he's a demon, the opening is very spoilery. He does kind of look like a sharp boy. He's gonna feed you to his sharks if you don't. So, samurai fight for lords in order to win ground from said lords. And lords start wars and buy samurai with ground to get more ground from other lords. Right? Is that how it works? You 道よ。
そいつなりゃ何でもやりたい放題よ。それも短い夢だったから。
おいらはな、お父ちゃんやおっかちゃんがいなくてもたった一人で生きてきたんだ。辛いことや苦しいこと一人で頑張ってきたんだ。下を向くな、顔を上げろ。野党なら最後の最後まで往生際悪くあがいて召し上がれってんだ。
気の強さは親父そっくりだ。
She sounds just like her papa, who never killed an innocent person in order to survive. Who died justly.
でも頭、一体どうすりゃいいんです？そりゃドロロ、あいつ無茶しやがって。
In the boat, not in the mouth. Oh, well, that pierced a few vital organs, I expect.
死んだのか。やったぞ。
Don't get excited too quickly, there's another one.
船の腰板を外して貝代わりにしろ。島で死ぬ気でこぐぞ。それとな。桜丸。そこまでさ。
Excuse me, but you fed women and children to a shark.
世話になったかな。丘に上がればこっちのもんよ。
もういいだろ、イタチ。
あったよ。そこらに捨てとけ。
No. He's killed hundreds of women and children and villagers and brigands and da-da-da-da-da. Just give him a swift death, because now he's gonna get stronger and feed his other shark. Humans, like kids and weak humans, because he's not strong enough now to get strong ones. Just
俺は諦めるなんて一言も言ってねえ。
知らねえもんは知らねえよ。
ごめえな。すぐ目の前に大金があんだぞ。
今は欲しくねえ。
そうかい。なら力ずくで教えてもらうぜ。俺もこのままじゃ終われねえんだ。
やめろ。やめろ
そうだったのか。お頭はなんでお前を。
so that you won't rape her, dumb fuck.
背中を火に当てろ。
やめろ。見るな。
行くぞ、てめえら。
大事なお金なんだ。なんだ。
Is he gonna... See, he doesn't just care about killing demons. He cares about Dororo. He just wants his body back, but he wants Dororo with him above all that. He's not obsessed in...
人々の失った手足を作り、施して回っておられるご人に心当たりがございます。
Is he gonna help him? Is he gonna help him? Oh.
And now it's time for the review. I actually thought maybe I wasn't going to do a review and I wanted to keep this video for next week and do 2 in 1 because it's kind of like a 2-part episode again. But then I went through some of the comments in this episode, and I saw Kevin-chan in the comment section. So you guys know Kevin-chan from my previous reviews. He's someone in the comment section of where I watch Dororo, and he writes really in-depth comments. And I wanted to read it to you guys again because he does write really thoughtful commentary, and I think it'll be great for more people to read or hear it. So I'm going to read it out loud, and then I'll share my thoughts on the comments and on the episode afterwards. I only got halfway through the comments, so I haven't read in everything, but here we go. Comments by Kevin-chan. I liked the character building moments for Dororo in this episode. She is an expert in staying alive, no matter what pain her life brings her. She has always found a way to keep herself afloat. I'm going to comment on his comments as I read it. I really liked that scene too. I like how it showed how Dororo's father and mother inspired who she became. And even though they died doing the right thing, they died for what they believe in, for the right thing, they still inspired the next generation, Dororo, to be a good person. I believe that if they had been like Itachi and done cruel things in order to survive, Dororo would have been no different. Dororo would have been cruel as well. Or even if some people can understand Itachi and what he did, his children wouldn't be like Dororo. They wouldn't be just. They would be the same as Itachi. And even though Itachi is living longer than Dororo's parents because he chose the wrong choices but that were necessary for survival, and they chose to do the right thing and yet died for it, Dororo being who she is shows that their goodness will live on in her. Their goodness inspires goodness from her. So what I'm trying to say is, even though they died for what's right and Itachi gets to live on, that shows how if we choose to do the wrong things in order to survive, we're just making the next generation and the next generation and the next generation worse than we were. If we choose to die for what's right, that goodness in itself will inspire future generations to do the right. That will inspire future generations and others to do the right thing too. Whereas if you're just always going to use the excuse like, I killed 30 innocent kids because I wanted to save my village from the samurai, the problem with that is you inspire the rest of the world and everyone else around you. You make it so much easier for them to choose to do bad, and that makes it easier for the next person and the next person and the next person, and that is why our world is so fucked up, because no one is willing to die for what's right. We all just want to live. We all just want to live as long as we can, and whether that means making a deal with a demon or killing 30 innocent kids to do that, it's easy to make that decision because others before us have made it. And we argue that it was the only thing they could do. We can understand it, but I can't. I don't think understanding something has to mean the same thing to knowing what's right. Okay, continuing Kevin-chan's comment. No matter what pain her life brings her, she has always found a way to keep herself afloat. Even without Hyakimaru, she uses her wits and tenacity to squeak by. She hates Itachi for what he has done to her and her family, but she also understands that he needs her alive in order to make it his goal, and so won't kill her. She couldn't kill the shark by herself, but if she could get Itachi and his men to try, then they all would at least have a chance to survive. At the same time, though she is a survivor, without Hyakimaru, she is powerless to change anything of her own or by herself. She can't resist Itachi, and she couldn't escape or kill the shark on her own. So, yes, she is tenacious. Yes, she gets by and survives without, killing innocent people. In fact, I don't even think she would kill a guilty person like Itachi, who is guilty, but she has so much compassion that she wouldn't kill him. See, that's why Hyakimaru and Dororo are so perfect together, because without Dororo, Hyakimaru would be too much to the one side. Without Hyakimaru, Dororo is too good. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're like the perfect yin and yang. And what I mean with too good is that she wouldn't kill even someone like Itachi, who has kind of brought his own death upon himself. Like, he's killed so many people, he's done so many bad things in life. In today's world, he would have been, sentenced to life in prison by now. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say when I'm saying that Dororo and Hyakimaru they're perfect for each other because they balance each other out. I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I don't want to take too much time trying to explain it right now. Kevin Chan says, I feel like what is being set up for the next episode with Hyakimaru is that while he has the physical power and ability to accomplish his goals, he will come to understand that Dororo is the one who keeps him grounded and human. Hyakimaru likely would have destroyed himself without Dororo's influence in his life. Yes. His father will likely point him back to how much Dororo means to him, and he will stop letting himself become consumed by his hate and his desire to get it all back. By father, he means Hyakimaru's adoptive father, not Daigo. And I think this is giving a little bit too much credit to Dororo. Yes, of course, Dororo keeps him balanced. I just said that too. But he isn't that consumed by hate yet. I don't think that's what Kevin Chan was saying. But I just don't want anyone else to think that Dororo was the only thing keeping him grounded at this point. He isn't that lost yet, because he put his mission on hold to look for Dororo, and I think that says a lot about where Hyakimaru is still at this point. It's not saying he could get lost, and it's not saying that Dororo hasn't helped him to stay grounded, but I just wanted to point out that Hyakimaru did put his mission on hold to look for Dororo. Kevin Chan continues to write, a big running theme in Dororo has been the idea that when desires run wild, they end up corrupting or destroying people. We've seen this with the villages that cooperate and serve demons in return for wealth or peace, and we are seeing what Tahumaru is becoming and being driven to because of what he felt would best secure prosperity of his people, but that was because of Daigo. We saw before how Tahumaru didn't work with a demon to save his people. He defeated that demon. He used his head and defeated that demon to save the people of that village next to the lake. Remember that? Instead of doing like let's say he could have swam to the ghoul, the crab monster, and said, I'll feed you one fisherman per week if you do not eat 2 fishermen per week. So you get 1 free easy meal and the rest of the town stays safe. Good deal, because that's how my father taught me. We sacrifice one to save the many. That's the good thing to do. But no, he used his head and he figured out how to defeat the ghoul in order to save all the townspeople and not sacrifice innocent people to save many. So what I'm trying to say is Daigo's method was wrong. Anyway, we are seeing what Tahumaru is becoming and being driven to because of what he felt would best secure the prosperity of his people. Without balance, even good or seemingly righteous desires can warp and consume people. I believe Dororo and Hyakimaru help keep each other in balance, and that is what will carry them ultimately to their journey's end. Thank you, Kevin Chan. Thank you. I hope one day Kevin Chan gets to he doesn't have to watch my videos, but I hope he knows that someone like me appreciates his comments, and I love sharing them with you guys and adding my own commentary onto his, because that's the kind of conversation we need, I don't know, to make better decisions as people. There's so much more that I could say, but I don't want this review to get so long that some people don't want to listen up until the end. I just want to say that I really enjoyed this story, and I'll say more about this storyline in the next episode because it's a 2-part episode, so it's going to carry on, and I don't want to say too much now. I already said what I thought about the shark boy. he doesn't seem to be like a demon, like the white-haired lady in the last episode, the moth one. But it could be that these sharks were possessed by demons and maybe possessed the body, or maybe, I don't know how it works, but that shark at the end looked like he was being taken over completely by a demon, and I don't know how that could be possible. I mean, he fed them human souls. I think that what else could ghouls and demons be born from if not that energy of people screaming for their life at the end of their lives while being fed to sharks? I wonder if that fear, that energy accumulates, and then the shark boy's, sorry, I forgot his name now, his hatred in that moment kind of activated that negative energy, and the shark became totally taken over by, or became a demon, you know? One other thing that I wanted to say, I see some people arguing that it was like stupid how coincidental it was that Itachi found Dororo's mother's body in that shallow grave, because obviously all Dororo could do was probably cover her with mud or whatever. She probably couldn't dig a hole and bury her. Because what I saw is that mud was sticking out over the flowers. So I don't think there was actually a grave, a dug grave. And I feel it's very stupid of people picking at stuff that's so, like, it's really not important at all. It's not even that coincidental if he was going back to the place where he had first met them, and obviously the general area isn't as big as we imagine. But I don't even have to explain it. The fact is that this is an anime meant to teach us. There are literally spider women and giant crab monsters. Obviously, common sense does, like, our world's logic doesn't apply. So I just felt it was silly for people to argue about how lucky he was to go back and find on the right path and find Dororo's mother's body. I just think, like, that's not the point of the story. This whole anime is meant to teach us something. And that's why, to me, it doesn't matter in the last episode how bad the animation was. Nothing matters other than how good the story is for me. I explained it in the last episode by saying, for example, when you go to a play, let's say you go and watch Harry Potter, the musical, and it's a play, right? You're not going to get the same quality of how brooms fly and things, because they don't have CGI, they don't have computers, they have to do everything themselves. It's a play. You're not going to complain, oh, the CGI wasn't as good as it was in the movies. That's not the point. That this is a play. You enjoy it because it's a play. And for me, that's how Dororo, the anime, is. I enjoy it because of the story. It's not meant to look like Attack on Titan Season 3. It has a different purpose, and it could be, like, I'm sure that it would be elevated and maybe more people would watch it if it was animated like Attack on Titan Season 3. But the most important part of this anime is to teach us something, and that's why it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. It just has to get us talking. So that's my opinion on it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Once again, you don't have to argue with mine. You can just state your own opinion, whether they are the same as mine, whether they are not the same. And just make sure that you do it in a respectful way. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for hearing me out. I'll see you guys in the next episode next week. Bye.